Shout out to Alana Trotman for sending me this story. And this is about Kyle Rittenhouse. And you know what? I've called him Kyle Rittenhouse for so long that I almost begin to start typing Kyle Rittenhouse into the search bar whenever his name comes up. And this is a story talking about how he has now officially made bail for the shooting that he was involved in Kenosha, Wisconsin, back in, what month was that? A couple months back in August. And now, mind you, that Kyle Rittenhouse killed 2 people, shot and injured 1. All 3 of them were PC. Now, what's interesting here is this is what it means to really get on code, because this individual, he went and crossed state lines with a gun illegally, went to a protest, shot 3 people, killing 2, claimed self-defense. He was able to run with his gun in hand to the cops, and they did nothing to him or restrained him in the way they should have, or the way they would do us. He ends up, getting charged. He goes to jail for a little bit, or prison, whatever you want to call it. And now he's officially made bail. Now, here's where the getting on code part comes in. He had a very high bail. And according to this, his bail was reached. And they said his bail was like around $2 million. And it was raised by people who supported him in campaigns, probably through a GoFundMe or something like that. Let me really break it down for y'all. They raised $2 million in a campaign to get this little rotten bastard out of jail after he killed 2 people and injured 1. Now, mind you, like I said, all the ones that he shot were white. They weren't any other ethnic group. They got on code for him because they agreed with his narrative. They said he needs to be protected. And might I add, with that mask on his face, don't he looks like a young Hannibal Lecter? Like he just about to launch and bite your face. Like that's what I immediately thought of when I saw this picture. But they raised $2 million for this boy. They raised $2 million for what I would deem to be a criminal. Let's see what they're talking about. Illinois gunman Kyle Rittenhouse, or as I call him, Rittenhouse, age 17, who was charged with killing 2 people during a BLM protest in Wisconsin, posted $2 million bail today and was released from custody. Rittenhouse is accused of fatally shooting Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber and wounding Gage Grosskreutz during a demonstration on August 25th that followed the police shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha. He posted bond through his attorney at around 2 p.m., Kenosha County Sheriff Sergeant David Wright said. Rittenhouse of Antioch, Illinois, told police he was attacked while he was guarding a business that he fired in self-defense. He faces multiple charges, including intentional homicide, reckless endangerment, and being a minor in possession of a firearm. Wisconsin law doesn't permit minors to carry or possess a gun unless they are hunting. He is due back in court on December 3rd for a preliminary hearing. His case has taken on political overtones. Supporters of the BLM movement have painted Rittenhouse as a trigger-happy white supremacist. Conservatives upset over property destruction during recent protests have portrayed him as a patriot exercising his right to bear arms during unrest. A legal defense fund for him has attracted millions of dollars in donations, and his mother got a standing ovation from women at the Waukesha County GOP function in September. They gave his mother, the person who was out there with him literally engaging in the action, a standing ovation. This is what we're up against, y'all. I just want y'all to know that. But yet we have stories where black people try to defend themselves, but they come up with all kinds of stories of why they can't. Huber's father, John Huber, asked Kenosha County Circuit Court Commissioner Lauren Keating during a hearing November 2nd to set Rittenhouse bail between $4 million and $10 million. Hoover said Rittenhouse thinks he's above the law and noted the effort to raise money on his behalf. He also suggested militia groups would hide him from police if he were released. Rittenhouse attorney Mark Richards asked for a $750,000 bail. Keating ultimately set bail at $2 million, saying Rittenhouse was a flight risk given the seriousness of the charges against him. Rittenhouse released from custody comes a day after the Washington Post published a jailhouse interview. Sorry about that. I forgot to close my Streamlabs. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Where was I at? He said he published in a jailhouse interview with the 17-year-old in which he revealed that he had used his $1,200 government stimulus check to purchase an AR-15 style gun used in the shooting through a friend because he was too young to buy it himself. Dominic Black, age 19, previously told authorities that he had purchased the weapon at a hardware store in Wisconsin and kept it for Rittenhouse in his home. During a police interview the day after the shootings, Black told investigators that Rittenhouse was freaking out and feared spending the rest of his life in prison, according to the video released from the FOIA request for the Chicago Tribune. The dude's sweating like a pig. He's just freaking out. His face is white. Well, he is palm colored. But Black said in a police interview, he's like, I'm going to jail for the rest of my life. I'm done. He's just scared. Black was later charged with 2 felony counts of illegally providing a minor with a firearm, 1 count for each man who died. In the Post interview, Rittenhouse described himself as patriotic and claimed that he opened fire in self-defense because he feared for his life. I feel I had to protect myself, he told the Post. I would have died that night if I didn't. Rittenhouse's mother has said her son also felt the need to protect businesses in Kenosha from the looting that erupted after Blake was shot 7 times in the back 2 nights earlier. Blake's family says he is paralyzed from the waist down. It's a tragedy what happened to Mr. Blake. It is, Wendy Rittenhouse told the Chicago Tribune. But my son and everybody else should not have been in Kenosha. 45 has suggested the shootings may have been justified because it appeared Rittenhouse was trying to fend off violent attackers. Video showed armed civilians arriving in Kenosha after a local militia group, the Kenosha Guard, put out a call to arms on Facebook. Police didn't stop them as they walked down the street, and in one video, officers handed them bottles of water. In another video, Kyle Rittenhouse, armed with an assault rifle, explained to a reporter that he was protecting a business from looting. And that's pretty much it. But I'm still stuck on the part. They raised all that money but it shouldn't surprise anybody. Look at what they did for Darren Wilson. He became like a millionaire overnight after he killed Mike Brown. And to be honest, I'm sure that the donations for him are still going to continue to pour in as time goes forward. I would not be in the least bit surprised. But just because he made bail and he's not in custody right now, that doesn't mean the charges will drop. Like it said in the article, he's due back in court for preliminary hearing on December 3rd for the charges that are currently on him right now. But the fact of the matter is they raised $2 million for him. And all he had to say was that he was being patriotic, he was defending business from looting, and that he shot some people. And the thing is, like I said, it didn't even matter that they were PC. It's the fact that they don't like BLM that much. If you see some of the stuff that they say on Twitter and how most of them, I'm not going to say it on here, but y'all can pretty much read between the lines. That's why they see him as a hero. And they're willing to look past all the illegalities of what he did just because of who he took out. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.